Hi everyone and welcome to the course Advanced Acceleration from Idea to Business Concept, an Entrepreneurial Journey. This module is offered by the Erasmus Plus project under KA2, Capacity Building in the Field of Higher Education, and the project title is Connecting Universities with Industry through Smart Entrepreneurial Cooperation and Competitive Intelligence of Students in Moldova, Georgia and Armenia. This is Dr. Paraskevi Gyurka and this video is for part B of module 3, and we're going to talk today about business models and market segmentation. A successful startup begins with a good idea. However, from the moment this idea is conceived and until a startup grows, it goes through a series of maturity phases that determine its viability. For many first-timers with great ideas, this process can be exciting but also complex. Tactics put in place for moving a great idea to addressing a real market need or for obtaining a market share requires A. the definition and validation of the need and the analysis of the competition, and B. understanding the synthesis of the targeting market segments, defining revenue models, business models, and penetrating the market successfully, obtaining a viable share in it. This training module is for startup entrepreneurs who are working towards realizing a business idea and are either in their first steps of conceptualization or they have initiated processes of designing business and revenue models. By the end of this module, students will be able to identify and validate a market need, understand the importance of market research for the successful introduction of a new product, analyze the competition and identify a competitive advantage, and evaluate and design a business model for a successful concept based on the customer profile. In business theory, the term business model was first introduced by Peter Drucker in the late 1990s. When starting a new business, there is need to identify a scalable business model for your product. Business models provide an outline of how a company plans to make money, as simple as that, and how a company plans to make money with its product and customer base in a specific market, depicting what product or service a company sells, to whom it will sell the product, and how it intends to market the product, and even more, what resources are required to produce this product, and what kind of expenses the company will face, and how it expects to reach profit from it. So, what is a business model? So, when starting a new business, you essentially have a product that is in search of a repeatable and sometimes expandable or scalable business model. Business models provide a snapshot of the entire chain of partners and channels that are required to get your product to your customers and extract value from it. So what you make is the product, a thing like bread, you make bread, or a service, for example, bread delivery. How you make it is what resources are necessary to produce it, like bread needs raw materials and physical space, some equipment, electricity, and lots of other things. And the service, the bread delivery service, requires automobiles, gasoline, and some other things. Now, to whom and how you sell your product, meaning who are your customers and how and when do they pay you, in the example we have in bread, making bread can be a wholesale or a retail product sold to other businesses like hotels or restaurants who may pay you daily or monthly or directly to consumers. You can deliver bread directly to consumers who pay you by the loaf. In the bread delivery service, the whom and how you sell it can be done between the bakery and another business or between two stores of the same bakery. Either way, you may be paid per delivery or on a monthly basis. In other words, what is the full life cycle of your product from the beginning, from purchasing all the raw materials that you require to build your product to the end, like to get payment for the end product. Business models that encourage or promote growth are typically successful. Growth is a function of value and cost, and if you work with these elements by increasing or creating value and decreasing or eliminating cost, you can potentially innovate or disrupt a product class, an industry, or a sector. So, if I have a new recipe for bread that needs 30% less time to bake, this means less energy, so this means less cost. Or if I have a delivery service that is more efficiently routed, let's say we then need less gasoline because we will deliver it quicker, I can provide a better product or service to the market and be ahead of my competitors. Sometimes my competition will struggle to copy me, for instance, if the bread recipe is a secret, and this gives me a longer and a stronger advantage. The rise of e-commerce heralded a major shift in the classic business model that most retailers had used for centuries, and that was dependent upon the location of the business. So, the business can be an offline business, like a casual brick and mortar classic retail business. It can be an online business nowadays, an e-commerce like Amazon. It can be both offline and online, so it can be a click and mortar established retail. An e-commerce enable old models to thrive in new scalable forms, and this offers the consumer to consumer potential. This is where individuals sell directly to each other. The business is the platform that allows the transaction to take place regardless of the relationship or the location of the buyer or the seller. Take, for example, eBay. And then we can have business to consumer or direct to consumer, where the consumer buys the product or service directly from the business, again, regardless of the location of the buyer and the seller, like Zara or Microsoft. Then we have the business-to-business model, where one business sells directly to another, like Alibaba or IBM. And we have the crowdsourced model, where the product is generated by the users themselves, like, take for example, Wikipedia. The business model canvas was created by Alexander Osterwalder as a tool for business owners and teams to systematically understand and design their business model by depicting all the resources, the people, the channels, and the activities that are necessary to make a business sustainable. The BMC, the Business Model Canvas, is a strategic management template used for the design of business models through the use of a visual chart designed with 9 building blocks, describing various firms or products elements, like its value proposition, the way a business operates, who are the customers, what are the finances, and more. More analytically, the canvas depicts what value do we deliver to the adopters that solves their pain. Who are our key partners and the suppliers, and what they give us. What key activities we suggest through our value proposition or our operational model. What key resources our value proposition require to make things happen. What type of relationship our customers expect to have. Which channels we will integrate to effectively reach customers. Who are our most important customers for which we create value? And what are the most important costs associated to our business model? Who is going and for what? going to pay? Many teams address the business model canvas like a checklist. However, reality is that gaining deep insight on how those elements interact and how each component influences the other is the basis for making sharper decisions. Another issue is that many teams form a business model canvas once and then never look back. But the whole point of the tool is to draft many different versions of it until a business gets it right, while it matures and considering what internal to the business or external factors have changed even in a small period of time. Another common mistake is that many teams don't put in the BMC numbers, like quantified metrics, such as apart from who the customer is, how big is the customer base, or how much it costs to acquire new customers. Finally, a business should list benefits rather than features that the customer receives. One common mistake is that because the business model canvas is built around the value proposition the center box, it is not problem need centric. This means that it focuses on the value a product creates rather than the need in the market. But what if the problem is not accurately assessed? Leaving out the design parameters of the problem makes the canvas problematic. A later version of this classic business model canvas, the Lean Canvas, developed by As Moria, tries to solve this issue. Now, projects often evolve from an idea and grow its features through the opinion of the founders, who may never be customers of the product. This may result to a product or a service that doesn't meet customer expectations or needs. Therefore, customer profiling is a way to create a portrait of customers to help a business make decisions concerning the design of a product or a service, decide on the features that helps the customer achieve a goal more easily. This is a way for making customer-centric decisions considering the customer opinion. Now, when creating a customer profile, the critical information required for end users is their goals, why they interact, their tasks, what they will do when they interact, and the goals of the interaction. Now let's talk about the minimum viable product. The minimum viable product is the most basic version of the product that a company wishes to launch. It includes a minimum set of attributes that can be viable as is in the market in order to begin the process of learning what the customers really need and how the product could best solve their problem. So, because the MVP is a minimum and also a viable product, it's more manageable and can allow the maximum amount of validated learning about the customers with the least effort. It's always a good strategy to have an MVP available when trying to test your idea. The MVP will certainly give you all the information that you require and will help you in the learning process about what exactly your customers need. Thank you very much for watching part B of the course Advanced Acceleration from Idea to Business Concept, an Entrepreneurial Journey. Join us on the webinars of the related course. Thank you.